radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. That's right. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah, man. Here we go. It's Wednesday, February 28th, 2018. 59 days into the new year. Just 306 days left. And we are live from a bunker somewhere in downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States, hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planets. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? Here we go. Tonight, it's my AMA. For those of you who don't know, that means Ask Me Anything. Right? Ask Me Anything. Simulcast, Periscope, YouTube, the Bunker Cam, and I think a few other sources out there. Couldn't get Facebook happening. Couldn't figure out that technical drama. But the easy way out is the next time that we do this, we'll have a second camera with a separate feed, and which we could have done today. But at one point, we were just like, man, that's enough is enough. Okay, but we're up and happening tonight. So what you can do, first off, you can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio, and that is simple enough to do. And hashtag F2B is where you can post your questions, or straight to me too as well. But use hashtag F2B or hashtag F2BQ to post your questions. We're going to jump into it quickly tonight. Rita will be compiling everything from different sources around the net. And, you know, we have the chat rooms, too, as well. We have the YouTube comments page. We have Periscope. We have Twitter and Facebook. So all of these different sources for questions. So we're going to do our best to get everything together, and then they'll be fed in here to me right there on that screen. Not that one. Not this one. That one. Okay. And I think I've got it. Now, over here, for those of you that are watching, over here, I have the Periscope feed. Over here, I have one of the chat rooms. I do have email. I have Facebook. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, Ask Me Anything means just that. Ask me anything. Okay? And I'll answer. And we'll do it as quick as we can. If, so the show is 3 hours long. We're going to do 2 hours and 45 minutes of Ask Me Anything. And later on in the show, I know that the phones are going to be going crazy too as well, but I'm going to ignore that. I want to stay with the AMA format, which is questions that are posted in real time. And I am going to read them. If things start to slow down, or the phones are just so backed up that you guys can't listen to me when I say don't call in, and you still do, maybe I'll go to the phones for the last segment of the show, and we'll do some live AMA. Okay? All right? That's where it's at. It just depends on how backed up we are. Let's see. Twitter is at JChurchRadio, so you can follow me there. Post your questions. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. Post questions there. I think Rita said that there's going to be a party after the show tonight. It was so funny. She was like, whose idea was this? I said, yours. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of fun, though. Okay, different approach to doing all of this. Again, you can also use hashtag F2BQ to post questions there, too, as well. And look, I'm just watching all of this happen here. Pretty trippy. Now, the way that this is working, the Periscope has its own microphone, so it's just picking up what's here in the studio. And then the other feeds are all normal, what's going out to KGRA or TalkStream Live, YouTube, and all of that. And the website, that's all the normal audio. So I don't know if there's delays going on depending on where you're picking up the video feed from or how you're listening to the show. Okay? So there may be a slight delay there. Figure it out for yourself how you're doing this. I can only imagine what is going on out there. Okay, so there you go. I'm not going to take any email tonight. I'm not going to, it's going to be a little bit complicated, but I think we can get through all of this. So again, post your questions. The easiest, if you're going to take it easy on Rita, post either in Periscope or Twitter on those two feeds. Okay, but you can post anywhere, but we'll try to get it, as centralized as possible. Would be a Twitter, or it depends on what you use, or the Periscope feed. Okay. All right. A little bit of breaking news. I want to share this with everybody. Today, I was on the United Intentions show, radio show out of Atlanta. Great conversation today with host Tim May. Very good. Very, very bright guy. And I'll post the links to that when I get them for everybody to check out. But it was a pretty fun interview, and I think you would all enjoy that. But also today, my interview with Alexis Brooks of Higher Journeys posted today, and I got to see part of it. And, she's just brilliant. She's just a great mind. And it was a very cool conversation. We had it right at the start of the Conscious Life Expo before all of the madness happened there. Rita and I just arrived, and we got to the hotel and immediately went in and did this interview before the weekend started. So those links are up in Twitter now, and you should go and check that out. She's just great, and Higher Journeys is a really great broadcast. So go and check that out. The links are up. The ECETI Roadshow is here in California tomorrow night. It is in Malibu. Click on the banner over at jimmychurchradio.com for their schedule and details. But if you're in Southern California and you want to go to the Malibu event tomorrow night, it's right there. And also their schedule going all the way up the coast and ending sometime next month in Washington is all right there. So just click on the banners. Our next event is going to be Contact in the Desert. It's coming up June 1st through the 4th, 2018, Indian Wells, Palm Springs, California, at the Renaissance Resort and Spa. You can go and get your tickets, info, and everything else that you need is right there at jimmychurchradio.com. Just click on the Contact in the Desert banner right there. And also, don't forget to sign up for our Soul Tech Gathering, which is going to be up at ECETI Ranch. And that's coming up August 9th through the 12th. Again, tickets and info are over at jimmychurchradio.com for Soul Tech Gathering. Man, if I've ever needed coffee, today's the day. What? Just an incredible day. Doing interviews and setting up for this, and just so much fun. Soul Tech Gathering. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. Over 800 archive shows. Just $2 a month. $2 a month. Just go to jimmychurchradio.com, click on the podcast banner. You can also become an official Fade or Not, and you do that in our membership section on the site, where you can get the bunker cam, right? Commercial-free downloadable archives. You also get, if you get the Game Changer, you can get autographed hats and T-shirts. Get a private personal email directly to me. All of that in our membership section. Go and sign up and become an official Fade or Not today. Don't forget to visit all of our sponsors. Life Change Tea, GetTheTea.com, Rivermoon Coffee, New Pharma, GNU Pharma, Ancient Life Oil, Sacred Skulls, Numana Food Storage, and Bearing Optics. Numana Food Storage, their special for the Fadernauts, the Jimmy 10 special, expires at midnight tonight. Promo code Jimmy10 will get you 10% off of your order. It's going to get you free shipping. It's going to get you an autographed t-shirt. It's going to get you peace of mind. It's going to get you GMO, MSG-free, made in America emergency food storage. Right? Jimmy 10 is the promo code. Expires at midnight tonight. Man, I can't believe it. But what a great deal that is. Let's get this show cracking. All right, I'm going to jump right into this. The questions are already coming in, so I'm going to get to that. And here we go. All right. Happy birthday to today. Train frontman Patrick Monahan is 49 years old. Great song, Drops of Jupiter. And I can't believe he's only 49. He's not younger than me. Nah. But Patrick, if that's your story, stick to it. He's 49 years old. On this day in history, big one, 1953, Watson and Crick discover the chemical structure of DNA. That was only in 1953. Pretty trippy, isn't it? Fader fact. Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, and I did this because of the video that I posted the other day, the full revolution of our moon. Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon album was on the Billboard charts for a total of 741 consecutive weeks from 1973 to 1988. 15 straight years on the Billboard charts. Okay, this is it. Tonight, it's my AMA, or Ask Me Anything, and I'll answer, okay? Ask Me Anything. We're simulcasting, sort of, on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, the Bunker Cam, and, of course, across all of our syndication. You know where to go post your questions. The easiest way to get it into me is get it on Twitter, hashtag F2B. Do that. You can post everything in Periscope. And I'm wondering, with Periscope, can I scroll backwards? Oh, I can, and it doesn't move. Oh, this is cool. Oh, man, that's a lot of stuff already. I can't get through all of this. Rita, look at you guys. Yeah, this is cool. All right. So you know where to post. I will get to everybody's questions. Tomorrow night is another Fader night. John Rappaport is back, and he will be here with his No More Fake Newsroom live, and then followed by open lines all night long. And I'm going to keep the phone lines closed tonight. If I do wind things down, then we'll go to the phones, and I'll do some AMA over the phones. Okay? I want to stay with the classic format of AMA, which is post your questions, I read them, I answer. Okay? That's it. You ready? Are you ready? Let's go. Let's get this cracking. Let me see what I got going first. This is from Native Alien. Let's see here. Hold on. I got to move my mouse around. Okay, now I'm good. Native Alien. Have you seen the pre-recorded Q&A done by Luis Elizondo for the UFO Congress yet? And the answer is no. I have not seen it. I have been sent a couple of links, and I'm not sure if the whole video is up, that there are only parts of it. But no, I have not seen the Luis Elizondo presentation. I have asked a few people out there. I've done it live on the show, too. If you did see it, what did you think? And is there anything that you can tell me about it? And is there any news? And the answers that I have been getting from everybody is that it's pretty much everything that we already knew, that there was nothing new there. But that's only what I was told. I have not seen the interview. Now, I know that I've got partial pieces to it, but no, I have not seen it. Okay, next up from Street TB, Jimmy, where can I find a list of your bumper music tracks? That's a great question. And you can get them all complete. It is Doug Aldrich, the guitar player, Doug Aldrich, and it's from his CD, Electrovision. Electrovision, one word. So all you have to do is go and Google Doug Aldrich, Electrovision, and you can go and get the album. Now, the album was originally released here in the United States. It's going back to, I'm going to say here, 1995, 96, 97. I worked on that CD with Doug, and I'm thinking 96, 97 was its release, and then it turned into an import from Japan. I'm sure that you can still get the CD new, but it would be an import out of Japan. You could probably get everything off of iTunes, but the track listing itself, it's everything off of that CD. Okay, Doug Aldrich, Electrovision. Now, if you go, I'll tell everybody a couple of secrets here. On that CD, the musicians, who are all extraordinary, but if you look hidden in the tracks, we brought in Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses, and he played on 2 tracks. So if you go and look, there's Dizzy there, and we did it behind the scenes a little bit. We got approval from GNR, but there was some things going on there. But so Dizzy's playing on 2 of those tracks. Chris Frazier is the drummer, Doug, the guitar player, and the backup band, the bass player, drummer, were from Steve Vai's band at that time, from his album Alien Love Secrets. And both things were going on at the exact same time. So while we were recording Doug's album, Ian and Chris were filming the videos with Steve Vai during the day and recording for Alien Love Secrets, and then coming over to the studio and finishing up that. So that's why that album sounds so good. It's the top-notch guys out of L.A., especially Ian and Chris, and then bringing in Dizzy. And that's what that album is, okay? Recorded at Doug Aldrich's house. Okay, let me back up here. This is from Sarah. Sarah, I'm going in order here. Okay, Sarah says, obligatory, would you rather, Fade to Black obligatory, would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? That's a great question. I'm going with 1 horse-sized duck. That's where I'm going with that. Yeah, 100 duck-sized horses, you're just going to get trampled. You're going to lose that one. That one, no, you can't win. So, no. I'm going with 1 horse-sized duck. Great question. This is from Mission Artist. And, okay, I got that, Rita. Thank you for that. So you're saying rapid fire, huh? Rita says I'm taking too long for questions. Read them faster. Mission Artist says, where in the world would you most like to explore mysterious, ancient aliens evidence? Besides Pumapunku, I've got to go. Egypt. Got to go Egypt. I would say Mesopotamia and Sumer right there in Iraq, but it's so hostile right now. And Göbekli Tepe, which is, of course, on the top of the list, right? But that's in Turkey on the Syrian border, and that is about as stable as the San Andreas Fault. So I'm not going there either. Giza Plateau seems pretty safe. Also Nazca, the Nazca plains down in Peru, certainly where they've been finding these mummies and artifacts. So I would go Giza first, Nazca second, Pumapunku, of course, and Göbekli Tepe, but it's just completely unstable. And so is, between the Tigris and Euphrates River right there in Iraq would be a cool place too. Like to go there. Can't. Right? So Giza first and Nazca Plains number 2. This is from Street TB again. Is this another same? Okay, here we go. Since you do the conference circuit, who parties the most? I'm guessing Richard Bleepin' Dolan. Richard Dolan knows how to throw down when he wants to. He's got an image to uphold. So, but let's say this: if the moment is right, yeah, Richard's pretty cool. Who parties the most? I would say that everybody keeps it in check. Everybody keeps it in check because we're working. But when we do get together, I don't think anybody has turned us down. Okay? And if you speak with any of the Fadernauts or any of the parties or any of the get-togethers that we've had, I think everybody has said yes. And that's everybody. I can go back to Alien Snowfest, and Stanton Friedman was there with us till like 2 a.m. in the morning. So think about that for a second. Stanton Friedman was right there with us. So, yeah, I would say that everybody is down to hanging out. Yeah, you picked the name. I think everybody's pretty cool there. Okay, next question. How many fingers behind my back? 5. No, 4 with a thumb. That's how many fingers are behind your back. That's from Ice Sphere. Okay, from Baphomet. Okay, Baphomet coming in. Have you always wanted radio as a kid, or was there another career you wanted to pursue? Now, I'm gonna be real straight. This is AMA Ask Me Anything. I've had a few different things that I wanted to do in my life, and I have done them all. Okay? I wanted to be an artist. Got that done, got that out of the way. I paid my rent from doing artwork from right out of high school all the way through here to California. I got that out of the way. I wanted to be a guitar player in a big hair band. Got that out of the way in spades. I wanted to produce records. I wanted to become a really good producer and learn that craft of music and audio and production. Got that out of the way. That was a brilliant thing. I've always wanted a TV show, right? Got that out of the way too as well. And radio. Now, radio's the interesting part. Radio, I've had my eye on for about 40 years, 30 years before I started to do it. So I did a serious 25 years of preparation, right? Of dress rehearsal. And I listened to all of the talk radio that I could. So I knew that radio was going to be where it was going to end up. Everything that I was able to do in my life, which is, art and guitar and music, all of that enabled me to roll all of those experiences of life into radio. Because now with radio, we can do the creative side with art. And Rita and I love that aspect of it. But the music part of my career and my life, I'm able to incorporate that into Fade to Black. Right? So if you think about it, it was all just a life's journey to end up here. So ultimately, yeah, radio was where it was at for me, and I knew that I was going to end up here. Okay, so there you go. Let's see. Where am I? Okay. A Civilization Lost. Do you believe that Mars was possibly inhabited with an intelligent presence at some point? Absolutely, 100%, no question about it. You look at the evidence on of Mars, the high-res imaging, and you look at that, and you take a peek around. That is not natural. There is plenty of things that indicate there was a civilization there. Before the atmosphere disappeared, I imagine that Mars was exactly like Earth. Same thing. Water, oceans, life, plant life, beautiful planet. Something happened, atmosphere went away, everything evaporated. That doesn't mean that there isn't something underground, right? So think about that too as well. But yeah, I'm absolutely 100% positive, not convinced, positive that life on Mars, it was fully inhabited fully. Okay. Next, this is from Ray. When are you going to take DMT? Yeah, that's a question. I've had the opportunities. Okay. All right. Are you with me there? I've had the opportunity. I haven't done it yet. I can't imagine that I won't. Okay, so the opportunity's got to be correct. The atmosphere, the situation, and the setting have to be right. But there's something going on with DMT, and for me to comment about it further, there's only one thing left to do. Right? You got to go and smoke it, and I'm not opposed to it. Okay, so now when will it be? Soon. How's that for an answer? It'll be soon. This is from Murph. Murph says, how does your library of dreams work? Is it something you decide to dream before you go to bed or after you fall asleep? No, it's before I go to bed. And this is what I do. It's before I go to bed. Now, in my library of dreams, and that list is too long to get into that, but, I've got it indexed. I know what's there. And this is what I do. I don't think I've ever even spoken to Rita about this, but this is what I do. I close my eyes and I picture a black window, like a window in a house, right? A black window. That's what I see. And then I go through the window. And that's how I fall asleep. Okay? And I've done this since I was a little kid. It was always this black, door, black entrance, and it was always square. And when I was fighting to go to sleep or trying to get to sleep, you got to get rid of the noise in your head, the thoughts of the day or whatever, problems in school, your neighbor, whatever it is. You didn't clean your room and you got yelled at. You've got all this clutter in your head. So to get rid of the clutter, I would picture this black window and go up, because I was a kid, I guess this is when this started, I would go up to the window, climb up, and go through it. Instantly asleep. And then, so I would pick my dream out, I knew where I wanted to go, and then I'd go to the black window and I'd crawl through it. Now, don't try this during the show because you'll fall asleep. But after the show tonight, if you want to get back to me and report back about my technique, if it works for you, I would love to hear. I've never heard any other dream experts talk about this. I've kind of held this back. Like I said, I've never even talked to Rita about it because it's my own little private thing. But this is AMA, Ask Me Anything. So there you go. So try that tonight. Close your eyes, picture a black window, and go and crawl through it. Just try to get through that window. Okay, let's see. Next up, Brock says, hi, Jimmy, Chrissy, or Janet? Hi, Jimmy, Chrissy, or Janet? Hi, Jimmy. I don't understand the question. What's the question? Hi, Jimmy, Chrissy, or Janet? Okay, I need some more. There. I don't know what that is. Rita, send me the real question. Hi, Jimmy, Chrissy, or Janet? Man. Jimmy, in your 4+ years of hosting the show, who has been your strangest guest? Strangest guest? Oh, we've had a few. Strangest. Strangest guest. Stan Romanek comes to play here. Stan was very strange. The guy that wrote Souder, the guy that wrote the Underground Tunnels book, Underground Bases out of Ecuador, that was a pretty strange interview. Michael Horn, the Billy Meyer guy, very strange interview. That's a strange cat right there. So there you go. Those are my strangest. Let's see. Tell us about the guitars. Did Stevie Ray Vaughan own? Did the Stevie Ray Vaughan one really belong to Stevie Ray? And why is the whammy bar on top? Okay, so he's talking about this guitar behind me. You can see it right there. The Stevie Ray Vaughan guitar. I'll bring it down for everybody. Okay, so here it is. This is a copy of Stevie Ray Vaughan's #1 guitar. Okay, so you can see it there. It's a copy. Fender, you see it, right? It's got the cigarette burns. Everything is a direct copy from Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's the same as his guitar. Pretty cool, right? Okay. So you're asking me about this. Why is the whammy bar on top? That's because on Stevie's guitar, instead of being on the bottom like a normal guitar, like the other ones here, right? It's on the bottom. Stevie had a left-handed vibrato bar put on this guitar. So it's a left-handed vibrato. This actually would go on a left-handed guitar, and if it was this way, it would be on the bottom, right? But there it is. There you go. All right, does that answer that question? Okay, all right, tell us about the guitars. Okay, so I think that answers that. Let me get this back up here. Okay, next question. Well, okay, that guitar is a Jackson, the one next to it. That's a Jackson. Maple neck, I prefer maple necks. And these are Strats over here behind you that you can't see. Okay, next up, Alyssa says, do you have a favorite philosopher or philosophical question? Ooh. Before I say all of them, I like, when it comes to philosophy, I am not a philosophy major or heavily researched into that. But what I do is read as much as I can and try to make myself sound smart. How's that? I read as much as I can. I almost don't agree with any of them. It doesn't fit me. And I think that the philosophers of the past, and whether you go back to Greece or you go through the Renaissance, all the way through to some of the modern philosophy today, it almost fits their time period. You know, their time and place that they were in. I'm not so sure if some of the Greek philosophers today in modern society would be speaking about philosophizing the same way. So it's fun to read, and you think, man, that's smart, but it doesn't apply to me or my life today. Does that make sense? So no, I don't really have any words that I live by when it comes to philosophy. Okay, next. This is John from Virginia. Jimmy, what about the mystery booms heard all around the world, the booming and the shaking? I wish I had the answer for that. Some of the videos that I have seen from some of these mystery booms are pretty convincing. What I haven't, you have the horns, you have the booms, you have the shaking, sonic things that are going off in the sky. Then you have stuff that is coming from around town, seemingly from under the ground too. So this is what I think. The earth vibrates. And when things start to kick off at a certain frequency, that is an audible frequency to us, that could be an explanation for a lot of it. The other part, what's going on in the sky, could be some movement of the earth, granite, electromagnetic things that are happening that cause lightning and other things to appear in the sky, right? That comes from the ground. And that could be some of the booms that we are hearing from the clouds. Then you have the other part of it. So that's the natural side. It could be very natural. But again, the resonance from our planet. The other booms, though, which I listened to a lot in the 1980s. Oh, and I blew right past the commercial break doing this. So we got to go to a commercial. How did I do that? I've never done that. Is Aurora and other testing of hypersonic aircraft. Right? And all through the 80s, we had sonic booms. We had them, it seemed like every day, every week in the 80s in Pasadena. We had sonic booms every day. And it got to the point where we stopped talking about it. We did in the beginning, but then we just stopped talking about the sonic booms. So could it be the Aurora and other craft that are up there breaking the sound barrier inside the United States, which is illegal? That's why the Concorde never flew here. No, they wanted those sonic booms to occur over the oceans. The sonic booms that were happening in our skies inside of our country indicates the testing of those aircraft here. So I'm not sure what it is. So with that, I went right through a commercial break. I've got to do this. I got to take a break, and I'll be right back. Tonight's my AMA, and yeah, lots of questions, and I'm going to get to them all. Okay, you guys having fun so far? It's pretty cool. I'm going to get through them all. It's AMA, and I'll be right back. It's Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA The Planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Ask me anything. Let's do this, man. I'll be right back.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Natural Health Solutions with Chris and Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie, how you doing?
Great, Chris.
Now, you're the CEO of GetTheTea.com, right?
Yes, I am.
What is GetTheTea.com? I mean, is this tea you buy in a store?
Well, no, it's not. Life Change Tea is just that. Life-changing. Life Change Tea is an herbal tea that gently cleanses your body from intruders.
What do you mean by intruders?
Well, intruders are toxins, chemicals, GMOs, heavy metals, and more. They're in our food, in our water, in our air we breathe.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
And Life Change Tea will help you with removing these, as you say, intruders?
That's right, Chris.
Are there side effects with this tea?
Well, you might lose a little weight. When you clean your colon, you lose weight, you feel better, and you have more energy.
Wow. Ronnie, where can people purchase Life Change Tea?
Oh, that's easy. GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com.
Ronnie, I want to thank you for being on the show. People, don't forget, GetTheTea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Win big with KGRA this summer. Tickets and hotel accommodations to the biggest conferences, autographed books and DVDs, chances to win all-inclusive conference cruises, and private dinners with your favorite KGRA hosts. Click the contest tab at KGRAradio.com for your chance to win big this summer. Your contact for the best alternative talk radio on the planet. KGRAradio.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Broadcasting live on the Game Changer Network and KGRA The Planet. We're also broadcasting tonight live on YouTube, Periscope. It's my AMA, Ask Me Anything. You can post your questions. I've got some up. Rita, I've got some stuff here on Facebook too as well. I don't know if you're grabbing that. Of course, we have Periscope, Twitter, and so forth. Okay, everything is coming into me live here. And let's get straight back to it. Lots of stuff here. I'm going to try to get through these as quick as possible. Okay, let's see. What is the airspeed velocity of a European unladen swallow? Well, okay. The answer is about 25 miles per hour, but it depends on how many coconuts. And if it's 11 meters per second or 2 coconuts, if you measure this correctly, and I've done the research, but great question. Let's see. This is from Christina. Christina says, ever been on any of the Gaia programming? No, I have not. I've been invited. The Twitter and Facebook are combined. Okay, thank you. Have I been? No, I have not been on Gaia. I've been invited, yes. It's always about timing, and so there you go. Where the future is, yeah, there's going to be some stuff on Gaia at some point. If not, which programs would you most like to be on? You know what I want? You know, and I know this sounds strange, but I would like to be on Beyond Belief with George. I want George. I think that would be fun. So, yeah, I'd like to be on Beyond Belief. George. Been invited. We've never been able to get the schedules lined up. But that would be really cool. I would also, of course, David Wilcock. I would like to turn the tables on David and have him interview me. Corey Good would be a lot of fun. And also Jay Widener's show that he does on hidden messages in film. I would like to do that show with Jay too as well. Okay, next up, this is from Mark. Are you going to have Grant Cameron back on for a TTSA show, To the Stars Academy? Yes, and we are talking to Grant about that right now. He's actually on the road this week. Next up, this is from Andrew. Andrew says, when was the last time you smoked weed, Jimmy? The last time I smoked weed? Man, I almost got to defer that to Rita. I'm not sure. It's been a while. Not opposed to it. I just don't do it. It's been a few years, couple of years, maybe one, maybe less. I don't know. Weed is around. It's legal here in California. It's everywhere. And I see it and smell it every day. I just don't smoke it every day. But no, I'm not opposed to it. I used to smoke weed every day, like so many of my friends. But I stopped smoking like every single day, probably about 10 years ago. It's been about 10 years since like I puffed every single day. And the last time, yeah, it's probably been a year, maybe 2. Okay? Being straight with you. There you go. Not opposed to it. Love the smell of it. Man, at Conscious Life Expo, walking around the hotel hallways, there was weed. I thought Snoop Dogg was staying at the Hilton. It was insane. All right. This is from Michael. Michael says, have you ever interviewed David Paulides on Fade to Black? No, never on Fade to Black about Missing 411. If not, maybe on a future show. He's a great guy. I got a chance to hang out and interview him on one of my panels at Contact in the Desert. I'm thinking it was 2 years ago. He was also next to us in our booth, so I was able to hang out with David over those 2 or 3 days. Great guy, funny guy too. That he's intense, but you get to know him. He's a really cool guy, really a great guy. We should get David Pilates on the show. There you go. Thank you for that. And we will do that. Some things just, they just get away from you, right? This is from Princess of Wands. You and Rita are marriage goals. How did you first meet? Inquiring minds want to know. Fate or love. You can tell them. Rita's funny. Rita and I met in 1998, and we met via in a strange way, though. This was in a strange way. I don't think it was arbitrary. Some things are meant to be. But we met via the internet. She thought that I was somebody that her friend, I believe, or at least that's Rita's story. And then we ended up immediately after that going out, and we haven't stopped. And that was in 1998. This is 2018. Rita and I a couple of days ago, we were talking about how many days that we have spent apart in the last 20 years. And the answer is not many. Not many. It's days. Maybe a week apart in 20 years. And we're both still alive. That's the good news. Okay, next up. Did you hear Jim Semivan and Melinda Leslie interview? What are your thoughts? No, I did not hear that. Who interviewed who? Jim Semivan interviewed Melinda Leslie, or did Melinda Leslie interview Jim Semivan? But the answer is no. I have not heard those interviews. Jimmy, and this is from Alex. Jimmy, tell the story of exactly what happened during your meditation at the Esetti Ranch medicine wheel. All I will say, and I know that you want to get that out of me, it was too personal, I think, to discuss. Also, it was very detailed and heavy. So there's the emotional side of it, and trying to put all of that into words, I don't think it would make sense to anybody. All I can say, all that I really want to say, because I want people to go and experience that kind of stuff for themselves, and I think you would understand after you go through it. All I want to say is this: there was an entrance from the left side of my brain, it's the best way I can explain it, of a very thick, what looked like a pink light that came in and lit up my left side, and eventually went all around me. Okay, so I was enveloped in this pink, and it wasn't red, it was pink. Okay, and I couldn't see, and I was looking around, I couldn't see an end to it. Okay, so there was, I could look down, I could look up. It seemed like I was looking around in my mind's eye. I was looking around, and everything was pink. Okay, other than that, and I'm not going to go further, but it was an extraordinary thing to go through. Extraordinary what happened. This is from K28. Jimmy, did you see the humongous black boomerang flying over Porter Ranch yesterday morning at 9:15 a.m.? No, I did not. And what the heck are you talking about? What do you mean, black boomerang flying over Porter Ranch yesterday? And did you see it, K28? And if you did you take a picture? How come I'm hearing about this now at 7:45 Pacific time on Fade to Black? I want to know more about this. Did anybody else see this black boomerang over Porter Ranch? Porter Ranch is in the valley, the north side of the valley, northwest side of the valley here in Southern California. North of Van Nuys, west of Van Nuys, west of Northridge, out on your way to Simi Valley. Very interesting. No. Was it over Walmart? I would like to know. I have not heard anything about this. This is from Sassy P. When are you coming to the UK for a cuppa and cucumber sandwich? Crust cut off, obviously. We're talking about getting over to the UK now. And so, yes. I think the answer is this. Rita and I, we don't have time to travel these days. So, especially just inside here in the United States, we're invited all over the place all the time, and we can only do so much. That's the first aspect. The second, international travel and trying to do something and get back. We have Fade to Black, and are we going to broadcast from overseas? We can't stop the show here. So how do we squeeze this in and figure it out? But the answer is this. Yes, UK. Maybe not 2018, but 2019. 2018, we've completely booked up. We're booked up through the end of the year. But yeah, the UK will be happening very, very, very soon. Also, Australia. We got to do Australia. And we've got Egypt. We've got. I want to get down to Peru, Armenia. These are all places that we will be visiting in 2019. Okay, this is from Street again. Jimmy, you seem to be a film buff. Favorite sci-fi film? No question. 2001: A Space Odyssey. End of story there. What do you think happened to Marduk after Babylon fell? Is he still around or died in the war between the gods? Okay. I think if we go just with the Sumerian text and the way Sitchin presented his information, Marduk wasn't a god. He was mortal. That's what I think. He had a long life. They were smart, but I don't think he reincarnated. I don't think he was a god. I think Marduk is dead. How's that? Okay, this is from Kathy. Do you play or just collect guitars? No, I play. Today, I'm more of a collector than a player, but there was a time in my life I played guitar literally 24 hours a day, never stopped. Guitar was and still is my life. I love guitars, and I love to look at them and collect them. Yes. So there you go. So no, I still play. Don't ask me to play right now during the AMA though. Let's see. Eddie in Pennsylvania. Hey, Jimmy, do you think Sasquatch is real, a spirit, or something completely fictional? Thanks. I'm still... Sasquatch is... And Bigfoot, that's a fascinating subject. I have said many times that I'm on the fence when it comes to Bigfoot. And my reasons for that... no bodies. Nothing has been found. Nothing definitive outside of the Patterson film. The more interviews that I've done with eyewitnesses, certainly what we went through with Lorcan O'Toole up at East Eddy Ranch was interesting. We had Clyde Lewis's sightings. We have Steve Murillo and Alex Mistretta and Rick Sinnott and what they found with their footprints. Just got a set of photographs emailed to us over the last couple of days by a close friend of ours that does not want to go public because he's a private person. But he sent us a collection of about 20 footprints, and this is a pretty big guy. He's a pretty big guy. And the footprints are huge. They're twice as big as my friend's feet. And so he's going to go back out and go back to this area and take some more photographs. This all says to me that there is something going on. Is it interdimensional? I don't know. Is it real? I don't know. This Bigfoot thing, I think it's going to get resolved. I want to know one way or the other. And man, is he E.T.? Right? But there's something going on. My opinion is shifting, okay, from being pretty skeptical to this point. I think there's a lot of evidence out there that has been presented to me directly that I feel pretty good about. Next up, what was your most impressive destination while overseas? What was my most impressive destination while overseas? Man. Oh, that's almost... I am going to say... You know what? I always think about... I think about this a lot. I went to the top of an island called Toboga down in Panama and out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. But at the top of this island, and it's a grass island, big hill, and at the top of this island was a cross, a big concrete white cross. I'm going to say 15 foot, maybe 20 foot tall cross at the peak of the island. And from there, from the cross, I had an unobstructed view, 360 degrees of everything around me. And I could look down. And so standing up there and just looking around and just seeing an unobstructed view of the coast of Panama, and then on the other side, the Pacific Ocean, looking down on all the boats and the ships and just seeing everything. And I could even look 12 miles away and see where I lived. It was pretty, and I think about that all the time. Yeah. I'm going to have to say that, the top of Toboga Island in Panama. Pretty cool. Man, Fort San Lorenzo was pretty cool too, though. Okay, next. What does the bespoke radio for the masses mean? Bespoke means tailor-made for you. So that's what bespoke radio means. This show, us, is tailor-made for you. And we've always done that. Guest suggestions, of course, Fader Night, open lines, the interaction that we do with the audience, all of this is done for you. So you go to a tailor, you get a suit made or a dress made, and it's just for you. That's what this show is. It's bespoke radio for the masses. That's a great question. Does the recent censorship on YouTube disturb you? Okay, I get that they are cracking down on trolls and hate, but do you think that eventually any ideas outside of the status quo will be targeted? I just posted up on Facebook that question. That's funny that it is here. I posted up on Facebook, and let me find it. Or did it not post? Did I not post it? Oh, yeah, here it is here. This is what I posted on Facebook. So much is going around about certain YouTube channels being taken down. Do you know of any? I would like to compile a list. Not channels that say that they are being messed with or demonetized. That happens every day, including ours. I'm talking about channels being removed. Please post them here, and I'll speak about them on tomorrow's show. So there you go. I will... now, this is... To take this a step further, and I'm going to answer this as quick as I can, you have to be very careful with the freedoms that we have today with YouTube and social media and stuff, because you can write or post or record or video anything that you want and put it up there. And there has been this trend for clicks, and people will say or post or upload anything and make it up just for clicks. You have to be careful when you're doing that, because people want to believe. They want to believe in conspiracies. They want to believe in things. They want to believe. And if you post something that is not true, that is not factually backed up by something, and you are accusing or saying that somebody is or isn't what they really are, you need to be careful. I think that freedom of expression and speech has been taken advantage of. So if you have been taking chances, right? Taking chances by posting stuff up that you can't back up by fact, and you get caught and you're posting stuff that isn't true, that's on you. Okay? It's not about taking down the truth. It's about probably taking down something that's not true. And YouTube, there is no obligation by YouTube or Twitter or anybody else or Facebook to you. Okay? Just because there is the First Amendment out there, freedom of speech, doesn't mean that you can go and do whatever you want. It doesn't work that way, not on somebody else's platform. If you want to create your own website and post videos up there, you're free to do that. But you're certainly not free to go to some other company and post on their site. No, if they that's it. It's really true. There is no censorship or freedom of speech violations here. You don't have any contracts. There's no obligation to you between you and YouTube and anything else to post whatever you want. Can't do that. And in some cases, it's defamation of character. You could be sued. So one needs to think about that as well. Now, has there been any channels taken down because of this? Well, it depends on what the content is. But you have to be careful about what you post. You have to be careful about that. It has to be accurate. It has to be vetted. It can't just be some crazy thing that you want to make up because you think that you can create some kind of reality out there. No. So there is no obligation between any of these companies and the end users. If you violate anything and you're out there posting and uploading stuff that isn't real, then that's on you. It's not anybody's fault but your own. I don't think it's censorship. It depends on what it is, though. When you see, okay, let's see here. Would you ever let an outside agency control what you say on the air? Nobody controls what I say, and nobody ever will. Nope. And and we do that by design. Okay. We do not. We don't have any investors. We don't have anybody that controls anything here. So that's by design. Nobody can ever tell me what to say. And on top of that, by not taking any outside money or have any influences on us, nobody has come to me and said, "Hey, can you interview this guy for me? You owe me a favor." No. And that's never happened, and it never will. Okay. Oh, Rita just said, you're skipping commercial breaks, and I did it again. So let me take a commercial break right here. I'm having fun. This is great. Fade to black. Let me get to this commercial break. I'll be right back. AMA, and I'm looking here, and there are literally, I've got hundreds of questions to get through. I think my answers need to be faster if I'm going to get to everybody's. Yeah, this is crazy. This is nuts. I'll be right back. Fade to black. AMA, Ask Me Anything on the Game Changer Network and KGRA The Planet. I'll be right back.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Hello, Fadernauts. This is Jimmy Church, and I'm introducing New Pharma, a company whose products are based on science. Human function based on the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. New Pharma firmly believes in this science, and their research indicates that support of the ECS provides the beneficial effects for a healthy lifestyle. New Pharma's science includes relief capsules for pain relief, sleep capsules, which are natural support for occasional sleeplessness. Foundation is support for your ECS, and Fit capsules support your active lifestyle. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B for a 33% discount on all of their products. Or visit newpharma.com for all of the knowledge on the science. That's GNUpharma.com. Go Beckley Tappy.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And this is Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
Yes.
We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
Ancient Life Oil. Life-changing. The real oil. CBD is truly Ancient Life Oil from the source. This oil has no psychoactive effect and is also legal in all 50 states. When you're healthy, you're happy. The truth about this wonderful plant is that it wants to give back to mankind life, longevity, and happiness. Ancient Life Oil are golden grade, all organic, non-GMO, and infused with high-quality liquid coconut oil. It's simple. Just go to ancientlifeoil.com today. That's ancientlifeoil.com. The best, purest, organic, and non-GMO CBD in the world. Go Beckley Tappy. The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your healthcare professional about potential interactions or other possible complications before using any product.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is my AMA, Ask Me Anything. Totally cool, by the way. Absolutely wonderful. The questions, I'm going to try to get through them all. So I'm going to cut this short. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Follow me on JChurchRadio. And post your questions there, and they continue to come in. There's so much. So let me get straight back to it. Thank you, everyone, for this. It's really cool. And I've now been late now on 2 commercials because I'm having so much fun. Okay, from D, what do you think is happening to the missing people that David Pallades writes about in his Missing 411? I don't think that's what's the most important part of this. There's that aspect, yes. But it's also how the authorities and the detectives and the agencies are not willing to talk about it. I find that as compelling as anything. So, do they know what's going on? And David is sniffing around, and they don't want to talk to him about it. Yeah, I'm not so sure. And there's the missing, and there's just some of the bodies and how they were, positioned in certain ways, and the shoes aspect. Very, very, very strange. So, yeah, he's done some of the best research out there. But it's the way that the authorities are not willing to investigate. And if they are investigating, they're not sharing that information with the families or with researchers or with David. Yeah, absolutely fascinating. Philip says, "Hi, Jimmy. My question is, if we are gods, as Billy explained yesterday, what should our ethic be?" Our ethic, okay. Talked about this with Billy last night, and I talked about it today also with Tim May in Atlanta. The most concerning thing for me when it comes to ethics and morality is how we can allow half of this world not to be able to have dreams, not to be able to pursue, not to be able to have bliss. And what comes along with that is education and food and a home. And, they are trapped in an existence that they can't leave. And that is disturbing because those at the very, very top, the rich, the elite, with the wave of a hand could fix everything on this planet. for those out there that don't have things. And that, if we are all gods, we should just take care of that. And that's really the truth. And so much of this world is in a place where, the other half of the world is in a place where they don't have to worry about food or heat or watching television or going to school, health care, and they haven't left to explore the world and go to see how the rest of the world lives. They don't understand it. And if they did go and do that, I think the outrage would be such that we would have a distribution of wealth. And it wouldn't even affect the pocketbooks of the rich. Look, if you are worth $1 billion, I think you could live pretty well on $500 million, right? What do you need? Give it up. If you're when you look at some of these really rich, and you're talking about trillions of dollars of excess cash, trillions of dollars that is in these bank accounts of the ultra rich. What do they need that money for? What do they, but there's a morality that is blocked. They don't care. And it's fascinating to me. So that's where it would be. It truly, we would take care of everybody else on this planet. That would be rule number one. Got any jokes? Got any jokes? Not right now. I don't have any jokes at this moment. If one comes to me before the end of the show, I'll hit you with it. Jimmy, have you ever had a heated exchange with a skeptic? Every single day. And I win them all. I've never had a skeptic win a win. They can't. There is. If you are a skeptic, and whatever it is you're skeptical about, you lose. You lose. The most boring existence on planet Earth is being a skeptic. That's just, that's it. That's it. And all skeptics out there, there's not that many. It's a very, very small circle of stupidity. But if you're a skeptic out there, call me and challenge me at any point. I eat skeptics for sport. Skeptics are easy. It's too easy. Do you have a daily spiritual practice? Yes, and I did it right before the show tonight. One of the things that I do is I burn sage. One of the things that I do every single day, when I come in to the bunker, I have this Eye of Ra. I'm going to hold it up to the camera. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful, right? I take this Eye of Ra, right? Isn't that cool? And I do this. Put it in my hand. I do that with the Eye of Ra. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So I do that. That's something that I do every day. And another thing that I do every day is I have the Shungite pyramid. And I pick it up and I just kind of knock the dust off of it. And I just do that. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Big. And so I do that every single day. I clean my Shungite pyramid that I keep right here and my Eye of Ra in the palm of my hand. I don't know if it's spiritual or if it's some kind of obsessive compulsion disorder, but I do that every single day. And I burn sage. And I burn some really cool incense. Spiritual, don't know. Habit, definitely. Okay, let's see. Next up, why did Richard Doty call in? I don't know. You have to ask Richard that. Is he just missing the drama? Or could be. Or working for OSI, probably, off the books. Yes, and yes. You answered that for me. Richard just called in. And that's it. It turned out to be one of the great conversations that was on the show. I was trying to hold the anger back, and I think ultimately, although after the show was over and I went back and listened to it, there were other questions that I should have asked. I didn't even think about. I was caught up in the moment, but certainly I felt cleansed that I was able to finally get some of those questions out. Whether they were answered truthfully or not, I leave that up to everybody else. Whatever happened to the winners of the podcasting equipment? That's a great question. They are working on their podcast. I would like to get to those podcasts and get them on the air. The 3 winners that we had selected all submitted really, really great auditions, and I expect some really good stuff to come out of each of them. What? This is from Larry. Ever heard of his animal stories from WLS? Ever heard of him? I don't know what that is. Can you submit that question again? Ever heard of his animal stories from WLS? Ever heard of him? Larry, I don't understand the question. There you go. This is from Freeman. Freeman coming in. What do you think of the great YouTube purge? I know, Freeman, I've been watching your post about this. And again, I want answers from everybody. Who has actually been purged? What were the actual channels that have been removed? Freeman, let's you and I talk tomorrow before the show. I want to compile a list together and see what is going on with that and what the content was. There you go. And thank you for that, Freeman. It's concerning. You know, it's concerning on both sides. Are they pulling down channels for no reason? Is it done by automation? Is there a human behind these decisions? You know, that's the thing. Is there some kind of manual review going on here? Is there an appeals process? Can you state your case? Or is it automation and software that is scanning for words? I don't know. You know, names and subjects, and then it is just done automatically. The amount of channels out there that are on YouTube and the amount of videos that are uploaded every single day, it's got to be... it's certainly in the hundreds of millions. I don't know if it's 1 billion videos a day. Could it be that big? I'm not so sure. But it's way too much for humans to monitor. So I would think that a lot of what they do is by software. And if channels are being deleted, like everybody is talking about right now, what is behind it? And I am going to talk about this tomorrow night on the show. I will get everything analyzed. Freeman, we'll talk tomorrow. Thank you for that. If you could jam with any musician, living or dead, who would it be? Oh, man. Well, Stevie Ray Vaughan comes to mind, certainly. Eddie Van Halen would be a pretty fun jam session for sure. Jeff Beck would be really fun to play with. Steve Vai is just too dang good, but you would probably have a lot of fun with Steve Vai too as well. I can't match licks with Yngwie Malmsteen, so that would be a waste of time, but I wouldn't mind standing and watching him play. I'd play rhythm guitar maybe behind Yngwie. But yeah, Jeff Beck would be fun. Jeff Beck. Eddie Van Halen would be really cool. Jimmy Page would be somebody fun to play with. Yeah. And that's just off of the top of my head, really, really quick. Okay, let's see. Oh, Tony Iommi. There you go. Where in Panama did you live? I have family in Panama. I lived in 2 places in Panama. One was a little town called Cocoli in the middle of the jungle. Cocoli, Cocoli. You can still find it on a map. I don't believe the town is still there, but the buildings and the homes that we lived in are not. I've gone and checked Google Earth. But anyway, so Cocoli in Panama, and then Fort Amador, Amador, Fort Amador, which is still there, right at the entrance of the Panama Canal on the Pacific side. So that's where I lived there. Okay, and Fort Amador was built from the rocks that they dug out of to make the canal, and they built Fort Amador, and those islands at the end of Fort Amador are all artificial. I've talked about this a lot on the air. They're all hollow and full of bunkers and and cool stuff. I've walked through them all. So there you go. Is Doty one of Tom DeLonge's advisors? I doubt it, and I seriously doubt it, that he mentions in the WikiLeaks memos to John Podesta. No. Tom DeLonge's smarter than that, I would think. So, I don't know. I don't know for a fact, but I would find that to be a pretty fascinating development if that's the case. Have you ever had Colin Andrews on the show? So much wisdom there. Yeah, we've had Colin on. Great guy. One of the bright minds and researchers out there on all aspects of everything when it comes to the paranormal and supernatural and history. Colin is one of the best. Yeah, he's been on the show. Have you realized nirvana? No. Have I realized bliss? Yes. Nirvana. Would I be? That's interesting. If you experienced or realized nirvana, what would you be doing with yourself? I mean, not only me doing radio, right, and TV. What would you change your very existence and reality? A lot of things would become meaningless at that point, right? Think about that. So no, I have not. Great question, though. Who cleans the dog poop at home? Yours truly. That is my job. That's my gig. That's my gig. I admit it. That's what I do. What was the last song you listened to today? Today I listened to a few things. Rita, what was the last thing I listened to today? I listened to so many things today. It was I listened to Swing Out Sister. Yeah, that's what I listened to. I did, and I went and listened to a few of their tracks. But yeah, Swing Out Sister. That's what I did today. I know that sounds weird, but that's what I did. Have you heard about the recent discovery of the pyramids in Sudan? Sudan's covered in pyramids. Is there new pyramids that have been discovered in Sudan? So my answer to that is no, but there's lots of pyramids in Sudan. Is there something that I don't know about? Shoot me an email, jimmy@jimmychurchradio.com. I'd like to find out about that. Jimmy, when your BS meter goes off when you are talking to a guest, what do you do? How do you deal? Depends. I have stopped guests before and pushed it. Okay, but let's turn this around a little bit. If I was being interviewed and I was talking about whether it was the green chrome balls or the little guy in my room back in the 90s or one of my experiences, and somebody said something that I witnessed, and somebody wanted to challenge me on that because they weren't there or they don't believe in, they're skeptical or whatever. Think about that for a second. That's not cool. How are you to question me about something that I have seen? Right? You're either telling me I'm crazy or I am a liar. So based on that and my own experiences, if somebody is pushing it with me, I really can't. I leave it up to the audience to figure it out and let you guys use your own discernment and your own BS meter. It's not my job to do that. And the other part of that, which I think is even more important, if my BS meter goes off and I close somebody down and somebody else that wants to come on this show or thought about it maybe wouldn't come on because they would feel that I would challenge them and therefore we would not hear something that could be important, right? So I need people to feel like they can come on here and just tell their story, tell about their experiences. The BS meter goes back to you guys. And now my BS meter is always live with these cameras. So you would see me go, right? I can't do that. I used to be able to do that, but I can't do that anymore, and I won't. There you go. Where am I? What's the current research status of the underwater USO base off the coast of California? Any new developments? We went out, now that the show is out and has aired, Breaking Mysterious, the new series that we shot for History. I went out on a boat with Steve Murillo and a full crew, and went out and we had an underwater drone that went down to a depth of about 1,000 feet. And we filmed, and we went right there. And what we found was this: as we scaled the walls there, and we got stuck on one of the pillars. The pillars are 750 feet. So that's think about it, how big that is. It's the size of a football field, and it's 1,000 feet tall or 1,500 feet tall. It's huge. And we got stuck, and the boat that we were on, as we moved it, the drone would pull back and lose its depth, and we would have to stop and wait for the drone to come up and get level again. And then we weren't able to video very far. The lights wouldn't go as far as we wanted. The sonar equipment that we dropped kept malfunctioning. And it would malfunction at a certain depth and then stop. And we don't know what was causing it. And as it turns out, other boats that have gone out there, they've encountered the same problems. So I don't know if there's something electronically that is blocking sonar from working down there. Sonar would allow us to acquire information at a greater distance that you don't need light for to video. But so we scaled the walls and we got down there, and you have to go and watch the episode that we filmed for History Channel to see everything that we did down there. But I got pretty frustrated. I got pretty mad and broke some stuff on the boat and threw a tantrum in front of everybody. Next question. Whatever it may be, what was that one thing that convinces you that there was more to reality than just 3D nuts and bolts realm of day-to-day experience that we collectively share allegedly? What tipped off the scales in your seminal moment? Well, there's too many. I've got 2 minutes before the commercial break here. There's too many experiences like that. I will say that collectively, everything adds up to there's something happening here that we're not being told. And I know that sounds generic, but Rita and I saw something come out of the sky and what appeared to crash in downtown Van Nuys and didn't blow up. I can't explain that to anybody, but we saw what we saw. Of course, there's the green chrome balls. I've got a photograph of a black triangle that I took. There was that little being in my room. Rita and I have had a couple of different sightings together that I simply can't explain. Out in Joshua Tree, the ball that took off from the desert and took off into the sky. Again, multiple witnesses, but we saw it together. I can't explain any of these. I can't. There's the disappearing house in Indianapolis. I still can't explain that. I got lost in my neighborhood in Pasadena. My neighborhood. I got lost. I can't explain that. And I was sober. So I think collectively all of those add up to something going on. Maybe one day I'll be able to answer that a little bit more solid. But that green chrome ball was pretty good. Oh, the Z in the sky, the Zorro. There you go. I'm glad somebody was standing next to me. I'll be right back. This is Fade to Black. It's my AMA. More of your questions answered right after this short break. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously. Go Beckley Tappy.
Do you worry a lot? Whether you're a college student, busy professional, parent, or grandparent, ongoing stress and elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol can rob your memory, your health, and your future. Now you can combat the effects of stress and anxiety while improving your memory and recall at the same time with the dietary supplement Calm and Clever. Studies show that the ingredients in Calm and Clever reduce cortisol by as much as 30% in 1 to 2 weeks. Call 1-800-758-8746 or calmandclever.com.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's my AMA night. Ask me anything. You can post up in Twitter, Facebook, of course, Periscope, and the chat room there. We're trying to get everything together. Lots of questions to go through. A couple of things I want to clarify. I got some email about my answer on skeptics. And so I want to go back, and I think everybody should be skeptical. Because I'm a skeptic, right? I approach everything like that. The skeptics that I have met have been troll-ish, right? They just want to pick a fight. You know, they don't come at it, from that. So that when I said I eat skeptics for lunch, I sort of meant that. But also that skeptics in general, if you come at me with a great conversation and I want to say argument because that's ultimately what it is, then it's fun. But I always win. But me, I approach everything as being a skeptic, as of all of you. Also, earlier when I said Chrissy or Janet, okay, so that question came at me, clarified in email, referring to the two female lead characters in that 70s TV show Three's Company. So I'm asking what you prefer, the sexy, beautiful, but empty-headed blonde Chrissy, or the smarter, level-headed, short-haired brunette Janet, similar to that famous question, Marianne or Ginger. And I gotta go Janet. I gotta go Janet. I like to be intellectually challenged, and there you go. So and thank you for clarifying that question. Okay, so back to everybody. Where did I leave off? Okay, here we are. Is that a real poncho or is that a Sears poncho? Well done, Tim. And that is my love for Frank Zappa that is so obvious on this show. My love for Frank and his lyrics. And that just lets me know that this audience is on top of their game. And I'm so happy. Frank Zappa, for me, growing up was... my little private love, and he steered so much of my thought process that I follow today. But that Frank Zappa apparently meant so much to so many that I really wasn't aware of, and every single day I'm reminded of that. So thank you, Tim, for that, Camarillo Brillo. And this is something else that's really funny. Frank Zappa wrote about, like Camarillo. He wrote about all of these locations here in Southern California that he referenced in all of his lyrics. And until you live in Southern California, you don't understand, right? But you move out here in Fontana or Redlands or San Bernardino and these and the Valley, these places that he wrote about in his lyrics, and you get out here and you experience it, and then you realize even more that Frank was a very, very intelligent guy. So thank you for that, Tim. Very well done. How did you come up with the show's name? The show's name, Fade to Black, comes from Rita. No, it is not Metallica, Fade to Black. Years ago, back in the 90s, I did a video for a company called Elisa's on mixing techniques. So I did the video, and at the end of the video, I looked into the camera and I said, okay, we're done. Fade to black. And Rita saw that video and laughed. She laughed at me. She laughed at what I said. And 15 years went by, and she would always come back at me and tease me about that fade to black. She would say things in our lives every day, fade to black, fade to black. So when it came to naming the show, she said, there's only one name, and we're going to call it Fade to Black. And that's where it came from. Had nothing to do with Metallica or anything else. It was her teasing me for 15 years, and she got that final last jab in me so that Fade to Black would be in my face for the rest of my life, and the inside joke would continue forever. So you can thank Rita for that. She came up with Fade to Black. Okay, now, let's see. Where am I? Fade to Black, Fade to Black. What's the story of the audio clip that says, I love ponies? I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush. That plays during the show, during the commercial breaks. Okay, I kind of got to go back. I would almost have to defer to Rita on this. But we were coming up with different things for different breaks that we were writing and scripting. And Rita did the ponies and had that done. So, and we had a voiceover artist cut that and cut different versions of it. So there you go. There may be more to it, and right now I can't remember specifically, but I will say that was Rita's idea. Okay? Right. There was something else to it too as well, but that was Rita's thing. That was Rita's creativity. What's the current research status? Oh, has that been repeated? Okay, so there you go. Jimmy, whatever. Okay. Oh, are these being duplicated, or am I reading twice? 2-part Oh, do you think you will ever have Alex Jones on the show or be a guest yourself on InfoWars? Alex has politely declined our invitations to come on Fade to Black. When he was over in Europe, when he had that death threat or whatever it was, he was over in Europe and running around in Italy and so forth. We asked him to come on the show and do a remote from Europe. We thought that would be fun to do. It was discussed and thought about, and then ultimately that was declined. Not in a negative way. It was a very busy schedule. Since then, we haven't asked Alex to come on this show. Would I go on InfoWars? I would say that it depends on what they want to talk about. Okay, so there's that part of it. Alex Jones is somebody that I'm entertained by. Okay? All right, once in a while I do check him out. I used to watch him more frequently before Fade to Black. There's not enough time. Plus, we're on at the same time. So there's that part. Second, I would defer anything like that, as I do with any interview or guest appearance that I do on other shows. It is deferred over to Rita. Then we discuss it. So, would I personally do it? The answer is yes, but it would be contingent on what the subject is about. Okay? All right. And then ultimately, Rita would tell me no. So there's your answer. 2-part question. Who is the most interesting person you've met, and what lesson did you learn? The most interesting person that I have met. Oh, man. And what did I learn? I'm going to go with this because my 3 or 4 people that influenced me so much, I've met, hung out, and worked for, and I'm speaking specifically about Rob Halford, Ronnie James Dio, and Tony Iommi. Okay, and I held them up with such high regard. But out of those 3, I would say that I spent the most time with was Rob, and I spent 2 years with him, off and on, over 2 years. And I'll say this is what I learned from Rob, that his voice is real. Okay, real, like real. What you hear is what you get. I have had Rob sing to me. I remember we were in a car, a rental. I'm driving, and we're out in the desert of Arizona, driving across, going somewhere. And he sings to me in the car, right? And now, I've heard him sing in the studio, and I've heard him do that. But in the car, he sang. And I don't even think it was a Judas Priest tune. It was something else. It was something we were talking about. But it was so loud, and it was exactly what you hear on the records. And I remember driving in the car thinking to myself, Rob Halford is singing to me right now in the car, and that voice is exactly what you hear. And that's what I learned. It was not fake. It was not effects. Yeah, he was such a cool dude, an honest dude, and I learned a lot from Rob. But there you go. Okay, so I think that answers that. If you could travel back, I think I skipped over. Okay, Jimmy, do you have a favorite pair of quirky socks? I'm wearing them now. I'm wearing my favorite quirky socks now. If so, what are they like? They're comfortable. I'm wearing them now. If not, what do you have against socks? You know what I have against socks? When you wear flip-flops and you have the toe section that goes between your big toe, right? That bothers me about socks because I like socks with flip-flops, right? So there you go. Should I show these right now? Should I show my quirky socks? Look, see? Quirky socks right there. Wearing them in the studio with my Adidas, right? But there you go, quirky socks. See, I wasn't kidding. I'm wearing them now. I wanted to make sure I was. Wow, some out there are going to think that was planned. It was not. If you could travel back in time and have a jam session with any dead musician, who would it be and why? Oh man, Miles Davis. I wouldn't want to jam with Miles Davis because he had an open mind and you could do your thing. Perfectionist, genius. The pressure would be on, but if I practiced enough beforehand, I think I could hang. Yeah, Miles Davis. That would be a jam session. Miles Davis, Sketches of Spain, right? I think I would do that. Okay, do you think our past alien visitors introduced the bad diseases and poisonous vermin to shorten our lives? No, I do not. Nope, I don't think that. And the reason why, why would that be important to aliens? Why would that be a concern of theirs? It sounds evil to us, but why would E.T. be concerned about something like that? I don't think they would. No, I think a lot of it is up to us. But what do we consider evil? If E.T. There's certain things are evil to us that just wouldn't be evil to somebody else. And I'll give you an example of that. Is cattle. We eat meat every day, right? And we take the cattle, pigs, chicken, fish. We take them and kill them and clean them for our own survival and consumption. Now, inherently, do we consider that evil? Right? Is it murder? Is it evil? Well, vegetarians will say that, but is that, do we consider? No, we don't. If you are the cows, right, it's evil. Spraying insecticides in your backyard, mosquito repellent to kill mosquitoes, it's not evil to us, but to the mosquitoes and their families, they would think that was pretty dastardly, right? And it's the same thing with E.T. What would be evil to them, and what do we consider? It's a philosophical question we need to answer. But so what is evil to us is not evil to something else, and what is not evil to us, it may be evil and just despicable to something else. So you have to look at it that way, and that's what I do. Okay, what are you aware of certain traditions in South America work with those who have disappeared in natural areas? They believe that they can be contacted and are still alive. Huh. That's an interesting question. I have to actually think about that. They believe they can be contacted and are still alive. Yeah, I see where you're going with that. Well, are you referring to South America or maybe the Caribbean or maybe even Africa? Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I like that. I like that question. That's a good question. I can't answer it right now. What's your take on Jim Carrey's transformation? Jim Carrey's a very smart guy. I think Jim Carrey is somebody that has figured out some pretty fundamental questions about our existence and what reality is and what we put our values on. He is in a position with his wealth to back off of working and exploring some of these things around us. And I find it fascinating that he doesn't care. His little thing on the red carpet and during Fashion Week in New York was very telling. Also, if you go watch his documentary about the making of The Man on the Moon, Andy escapes me right now, but that is an eye-opening thing when you get into the mind of Jim Carrey. I think he's being honest. I think he's exploring himself, and he's looking around at this world of ours, and is he's not losing it. He's actually getting smarter. There are those out there that think that he's losing it, but I don't. No, I think it's absolutely fascinating. How many Fadernauts does it take to change a light bulb? I don't know. How many? What do you think the pyramids were built for? The electric universe or traditional perspective? Okay. And the Sphinx, jackal or lion? Okay. I don't know. We don't have the instruction manual for the pyramids. This new chamber that has been found, and is there going to be something inside of it that will help us explain what that was used for? Yes, I can. I'm pretty confident in saying it is not a tomb. I don't believe that Khufu or anybody else was ever buried there. It's a machine of some kind. It's a device that was used for something. I wish that we had the instruction manual. I really do. That would answer a lot of questions. As far as the Sphinx, jackal or lion, it's pointing towards Leo, apparently. So there's that part. But everything else, not everything else, but so many instances of the jackal there, but the tail comes around to the side, so that says feline to me. So could be lion. I'm leaning on that because of its tail. Every time we have a cat over at the house, and that cat will sit there in that position, the Sphinx position, with the tail wrapped around on the same side too, by the way, on the right side, and I just think Sphinx. So I'm going lion on that. Okay. Oh, man. What time is it? Okay. Do you know of the UFO and mysterious government activity in Western North Carolina? I do not. And I would love to know what you're referring to. I may have an answer for that if it was more specific. What is your opinion? Are possible rogue CIA false flag attacks in Hawaii and Japan? I know. Yeah. That's there's something going on there. And the photographs that I have seen are pretty interesting. That it looks like something exploded in the sky. So there's that part. But the other thing that I find more upsetting with both of those is the families that were put under such duress because they were just told that they were about to die. And you had 20 minutes to get your affairs in order. That, if I'm living in Japan, I'm still outraged about that. I can't imagine what emotions that you went through as a parent to have to face that reality. And I think that's the bigger question that is involved here. Have you ever been approached by the government? In what aspect? I've been approached by the government a lot. A lot. You know what? I'm going to say this. I've never told this story publicly before, but I did have the experience of those agents coming to our front door 2 days in a row, telling me that they were here for the census and wanted to know about my family specifically. And it was weird. And then they came back when I shut the door on, came back the next day with some more suits standing behind this lady. And she had this iPad and asking me questions that were seriously personal. And I shut the door on her a second time. They never came back. I still find that very, 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 very strange. But I had a friend of mine that years ago had to get a security clearance, a very high one, and had told me that some agents were going to approach me and interview me about him. And I kind of laughed it off. But the interview eventually happened. And it was pretty strange. And I told this guy, and I still have his card somewhere, and it literally says, like, special agent for, I'll have to ask Rita, some agency in Washington. And so anyway, I told him, I said, dude, man, do you know what I do? Are you aware of what I do? And you're asking me these questions about this guy when yeah, I'm aware. And he said this, and I was like, man, you're really going to listen to me? It was pretty funny. But this is the funny part. My friend got the gig. Yeah, I can't say anything more specific, but pretty top secret stuff. So yeah, I've hung out with a few government types in my life. Yeah, pretty strange. Okay, I got to keep this going. What is your favorite mountain bike or dirt bike? Cannondale. There you go. Man, I had a full suspension Cannondale that I absolutely loved. I've sold it, but I should post pictures of that, me on top of a couple of mountains. If you were treating Rita to breakfast in bed, what would be on the tray? It would be Belgian waffles with whipped cream, fresh strawberries, and fresh maple syrup, maple-flavored bacon, and 2 eggs, sunny side up. There you go. You know why? I know what she loves, number one. Number two, we do that all the time. That's our favorite thing, breakfast for dinner. We do it all the time. Have you ever met Alex? Oh, wait. Hey, Jimmy, what is your very first job that you got paid for? McDonald's. Worked at McDonald's for 2 or 3 years. During high school. Okay, there you go. In our niche, Jimmy, what question would you like answered in the fullest truth? In our niche, what question would you answer to the fullest truth? Man, that always goes back to the ET question. That always goes back to ET. I would like to just get to the director of the CIA and hit him with the UFO question. You know, do you have a crashed saucer? I think that's what I would like answered. Hey, Jimmy. I think music still sounds best on vinyl. It does. What is your preference? Vinyl, CD, digital, etc. There's no question about that. Nothing sounds like vinyl. Nothing sounds like vinyl. And I've done the test myself. So there you go. Analog. Like this show and the gear that we use here. Everything is analog. Let's see. McDonald's. Jimmy, have you ever met Alex Collier? And have you ever interviewed him? No. The answer is no. We reached out to Alex. He was ill, and this was a couple of months ago, and we nearly got it set up and then kind of forgot about it after that. But, I wouldn't mind having Alex on the show. Very interesting dude. Cats or dogs? Dogs, of course. But then again, you haven't met our cat, so that makes it tough. But I'm going dogs. Let's see. Yes, break. We are 15 seconds away. One more question. What's an average Jimmy day? Average Jimmy day is sleep until, Rita's going to say I'm lying. I'm going to say sleep till 10. 10:30, uploading and editing audio and video. Getting that out of the way, booking guest, then going through emails, writing the news and the things that I want on the show that night, of course, Fate or Fact and that day in history, getting all of that out of the way, and then going in and doing some basic research and getting that out of the way, and then eating lunch, and then going back, taking a nap for about a half hour, coming back, doing sound check, 15 minutes after that, brewing coffee, and then right after that doing the show, going till 10 o'clock at night, and then having dinner with my lovely wife at about 10:30, watching a movie from 10:30 until 1 o'clock in the morning, going to bed, and doing it all over again. I would say that is the average day. That happens 6 days a week. And with that, I'm going to take my next break, and I'll be right back continuing this AMA. We have 1 hour left. Wow, I haven't talked this much in like forever. This is Fade to Black. It's my AMA. Ask me anything. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Hi everybody, this is Rob Halford, the Metal God on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on the smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
Hello, Fadernauts. This is Jimmy Church, and I'm introducing New Pharma, a company whose products are based on science. Human function based on the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. New Pharma firmly believes in this science, and their research indicates that support of the ECS provides the beneficial effects for a healthy lifestyle. New Pharma's science includes relief capsules for pain relief, sleep capsules, which are natural support for occasional sleeplessness. Foundation is support for your ECS, and Fit capsules support your active lifestyle. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B for a 33% discount on all of their products. Or visit newpharma.com for all of the knowledge on the science. That's GNUpharma.com. Go Beckley Tappy. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. My AMA, Ask Me Anything. I just posted up there in Periscope. This is nuts. Trying to keep up with it. I am going to answer everything. We may have to go into some serious overtime tonight, but I'm doing the best that I can. We've got a ton of stuff here to get through. So with that, you can post your questions over in Periscope. You can do it in Twitter. Use hashtag F2B. We have Facebook too as well, so you can post there, and YouTube. So we are compiling everything and getting it all in one centralized point, and I'm going through everything in order. Ask me anything, I'll answer it. Okay, if I can. Here we go. Let's continue. What's an average Jimmy day? I don't even think I was honest with that. It's crazy what I go through every day.
Okay, this is from Saturn. Are you tired of winning yet? What does that mean? Am I tired of winning yet? What does that mean? I'm not sure if I understand the question, because I'll say this. Appearances are one thing, and then what actually happens is another. But Rita and I together have gone through the extremes of life. We have experienced, without going into details, we've experienced it all. And putting this together and everything that we have done is hard work and planning, and of course, synchronicities and everything else. And we have created our own destiny. So, are we finished? Absolutely not. Am I tired of winning? No. Have I won? I haven't won anything. What I have experienced along with Rita is the most wonderful audiences in the world, conferences and television and radio and everything that it's all great, but it's just a journey. You know, and ultimately what's on the backside of this and how this all comes to a conclusion of finding these answers, I don't know. You know, so that's it. Am I tired of it? No, our foot is on the gas every single day. And just today, the things that we have done behind the scenes that you're going to find out about in the days and weeks ahead is creating more and more work and projects and things for us to do and to complete. And we've got so much to do. So no, am I tired of it? Nope. Have I won anything? Not yet. But I'll let you know. Okay? A long time ago, I sent you a hardback book, Haunted Mesa. Yes. You commented when received and said you'd review once read. You never did. What did you think? And what was it a take on Dulcie or just a story? Yeah, okay. And going back to that, could be. That's interesting because I did think of Dulcie when reading that. Yeah, too long of an answer for me to do right now and right here. But I think I'll go back and comment on the show about the book more directly. But this is the thing, that book specifically could apply to so many different geographic locations across the United States, if not the world. But yeah, I do think that there is something going on when it comes to places like the Haunted Mesa or Dulcie in general. Okay, I remember specifically, I asked Norio Hayakawa once. I said, "Dude, an entrance to Dulcie, right? No, haven't found it. Okay." Well, then, if there isn't an entrance that can be confirmed, then what explains the lights and the other phenomena that have been going on around the Archuleta Mesa? Right? Now, so are we talking about spirituality? Are we talking about spirits? Something interdimensional? So, yeah, I think that there is something going on. Have you heard Black Sabbath's last studio album, 13? No, I have not heard it. Would like to check it out, though. But no, I have not heard it. Jimmy, what do you think is the significance of 11/11? And do you see 11/11 in the restricted Area 51 Keep Out sign behind you? What? Okay, I'm looking now. Restricted area. That's interesting. Talking about that sign that's right behind me there. I see 11/11 all the time. So do my family members. Rita, over the last 2 days, has made a real sport of pointing out specific times, and she her clock on her cell phone and around her. She reads in military time. So she gets the extra digits, right? The extra 12 digits. And so you can see those combinations, 1551 or so forth. And she constantly looks down and sees those numbers. 1111 happens all the time. 111 happens all the time. 311, 3 in the morning, 311, all the time. I would love to know what is going on with that. Is this something that eventually your brain is just, its internal clock knows when it's an 11:11 and you are going to pick up your cell phone or your watch and look down and see 11:11 there or 1:11? Isn't that interesting? I'm not so sure what goes on with that. We do have internal clocks, right? Your clock is set for 7 a.m. in the morning. You wake up at 6:45 because your body knows that at 7 a.m. that annoying alarm's going to go off and wake you up. So instead, your body warms up before that, and you end up turning off the clock before you hear that alarm. There's that part. But why is it that you find yourself looking all the time and seeing 11:11 or 1:11? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it. It happens all the time. But what is the 11:11 here on this sign? I don't see it. Is there something else? Somebody please tell me, whoever posted that question, what is that? Jimmy, have you read the memoirs of Billy Shears, and what do you think about it? No, I have not read it. Somebody send me a link, and I will go check it out. Jimmy, name some of the bands you have played with. Some of the bands that I've played with. I don't know if you would even know those names. Bands, my personal bands, Emergency. That was my big hair band on the Sunset Strip. Foam Decoy was the punk band that we had in the later half of the 80s. That would have been like 1988, 89. That was the Foam Decoys. So those were the two main bands. And then there was a Swift Kick after Tracy G left. I went in and kind of put that thing together, and that fell apart again. So Swift Kick never resurfaced after Tracy G left. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there were so many other bands, but you would have never heard of. So I guess that's what you're asking me. Now, bands that I produced, oh my goodness, that list is way too long. But that's not what you're asking here. Next up. How do you feel about firearms? Do you target practice? I like everybody, I would say most guys, and there are girls out there that share this too as well, women, but firearms are cool. Okay? The design, the look and stuff. There's that part of it that I think is cool. The part about firearms that bothers me is that really, if you think about it, originally, firearms were always designed to kill people, right? Going back, muskets, long rifles, the Revolutionary War, right? Our Civil War, all of those guns, they were designed to kill people. Cannons were not designed originally, on boats and cannon fire. So that was built to kill people. Those were designed to kill people. As cool as they look, howitzers, weapons of war. That's, now the other side of it, using firearms to survive, the Wild West and killing rabbits or deer to eat and survive for you and your family. That's the other side of it. But I'm not sure if those guns were ever designed to kill deer. They're always designed to kill people. So and then you have the other part of it to defend yourself and defend your home and your family from craziness. So there's that part of it. The Constitution, Second Amendment, and firearms. That was all written, 250 years ago to make sure that, civilians had control of the government. But I think the Second Amendment was written around muskets. It took 2 minutes to load that thing, right? Firearms today, it's weird. I don't know. Having a weapon in your home to defend yourself against somebody that breaks in, some home evasion, robbery. Okay, is there ever a firearm in a home invasion robbery that is used to shoot somebody that comes into your house? That's rare. You're always at the losing end of that. So I'm not. It's weird. It's something that we have to debate and discuss publicly. And we want to figure that out. Have I target practiced? Yeah, I have. It's been a long time since I have done that, but I have done it. I was speaking with a friend of mine the other day. We were down in Brown County, Indiana, and we shot weapons all weekend. I shot until I couldn't pick up. My shoulder was so sore I couldn't shoot anymore. My hand was so sore from firing these 9mm and 45s and stuff, so sore that I couldn't pull the trigger anymore. I fired all weekend long. So yeah, I've done it, and it's fun. It's absolutely fun. Tell us about what time you went to Bohemian Grove. Spill the beans. You are among friends. Yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to do it. Secretly, have I done it behind? No, I haven't. I would tell you if I have. I'm not scared. No, I haven't done it. And today they've got that down on such lockdown that you would really, they've got sensors and things out in the woods. I'm not so sure if we could do the Alex Jones thing and get up there and videotape. It certainly made his career. But I would do it if I could. Okay? So if anybody's got a secret entrance or a way to get up there and film, let us know. And I wouldn't mind going and filming that ceremony for real in 4K high definition. How do you decide if a person is worthwhile interviewing on air? When all they have is their fantastical story, no valid proof to back up their claims. Well, I approach it from a few different angles. Worthwhile, I don't think that is the right way to put it. But also, we've had many guests on this show that have never been on the radio before. Okay? So we have to take things in their totality. I would like to have a few things at our disposal, like maybe, hopefully, a book or maybe an interview that has been done before, maybe something on television, and some other stuff that in its totality, I am able to absorb the experience, whether it's Bigfoot, UFOs, or near-death experience. Maybe it's investigating megalithic sites. That there's enough there for me to do a 2-hour conversation. I think that's what's most important. If somebody calls up on this show and shares their UFO experience, I allow them all the time that they need to tell us their story. But that doesn't mean that there is a 2-hour conversation there. So that's when it's worthwhile. I want to make sure that there's a 2-hour show available to us. I think that's what's most important. Because, look, if you've got an experience, call into the show. That's what Thursday nights are there for. If you've ever noticed, I never cut somebody off. Right? I never do. If it's a half-hour phone call, then I let it go for a half an hour. And I try to get as much information out of somebody as I can. Doing a 2-hour show, for most people, there isn't enough information there to do a full 2-hour show. And that's why. So I want to make sure that we have enough there that I am able to get that information out and share it with the audience and cover 2 hours. 2 hours is a long time. Trust me, it's exhausting. And you can see me here doing this AMA now. We've been doing this now for 2 hours, and it's tough. Okay, so yeah, that's what we do. A fantastical story and no valid proof to back up their claims. Nobody's got any valid proof. What's valid proof? What's valid? I've told you my stories, right? I don't have any valid proof, right? I mean, what is valid? What is it that you want out of somebody as proof? What is it? Video, I've got video of things. I've got photographic evidence of things. Is that proof enough? Does it change my story? Does it change my experience? And it's the same thing going back to anybody else. I say it all the time. What do you want, a T-shirt from Zeta Reticuli? Anybody that's been on one of these craft, are they able to grab a coffee cup that says, the name of the craft that they're on? I don't know what you want as valid proof. Because if what you are asking for, whoever posted this question, what is it that you would accept as valid proof? I don't need anything beyond what I've seen or experienced with other witnesses. So, okay, I think that answers that. I mean, what is it that people want for valid proof these days? I don't even understand what that means. And if what you are asking for was out there, then you probably wouldn't post this question, right? So there you go. Jimmy, do you believe in reincarnation? Yes, I do. What do you think happens when we leave this plane? Yeah. I think there's two things that happen. One, electrically, our body is shut off, right? So the hard drive, our brain, stops working. So those are memories, right? That's data that's stored. So there's that. And that data that is stored, is that us? Is that our soul? Right? In other words, if I was able to download my memories onto a chip and upload them into somebody else's body, does that mean Jimmy Church is now inside of that body? No, it does not. It's the soul, right? So there's two things. So what happens to the soul? I think that the soul remains. It's electricity. It is part of us, and it is out there existing. Is that what then enters another body? I think so. The memory part is gone. Fractals of that memory may remain in the soul, but then now you occupy a new body and you start life over again, and those memories are accumulated once again. That's what I think, and I've always believed that. I've always believed that, the body shuts off. It's a switch. And so electronically, the brain is no longer functioning. So those memories are gone, right? But your soul, what you are, is something else altogether. And I think that has nothing to do with the brain. So, yeah, that's what I think. And I'm going to stick to that until I absolutely find out the ultimate question. If you were invited to tour NASA JPL in Pasadena, would you want to go? I've got an open invitation to go to NASA. One of my oldest friends that I have, that I've used to cut my hair in the 80s. She works at JPL right now. She's getting ready to retire this year. And she said, whatever you want, this entire compound is open to you. I will take you anywhere you want to go and introduce you to anybody that you want to meet. So the invitation has been open for years for me to visit NASA, and I will be doing it this year. So would I go? Yes. When will I go? It'll be this year. I have to. That's when my friend is going to retire. But I've been told that every single door, office, lab, any place that I want to go to, I can go and visit and ask any questions that I desire. So I will do that. I'll take pictures, and I will report back to you. Okay. JPL. Jimmy, when did you receive any paradigm-shifting insights during your close-to-death experience? Or did everything just fade to black until you came back? Okay, I think you're referring to when I was in the hospital when I was 20 years old. And that paradigm-shifting insights was that I was doing what I want to do. I was writing music for those 4 days that I was unconscious. And I was really, really sick, and my temperature was going in both directions every couple of hours, and I didn't know it was going to 95 degrees up to about 104 every couple of hours, and it was swinging back and forth for 4 days. And now, what the hospital did not discuss with me in depth is, which I found interesting, is what they didn't discuss with me was what was actually happening to me. I was told that I scared everybody to death. I think we've just lost video here. I'm looking, and it's weird. We've lost power on the Periscope feed. Okay. So, it's back. Okay. All right. Phew. Interesting. But during those 4 days, I didn't know it was 4 days, but I was writing music. I was having fun. I was enjoying myself. When I came out of it, there was a priest sitting next to my bed and reading a Bible. And I didn't know that I was in the hospital. I don't remember being admitted to that. I didn't remember any of that. But it was interesting. I guess the best way that I can explain it to everybody is that during those 4 days, I didn't have any concept of time. I didn't see anything but blackness and a table and a chair and a light above that was coming down and open sheet music and a pen. And I was able to write out these symphonies and hear them in my head and write them out and hear them played back. And I did it over and over again. And I was totally happy. Totally happy. It was an amazing, fun thing. And I have no problems going back there. It was pretty cool. Now, is that what happens on the other side with a near-death experience? I don't know. That is my experience. I've talked about it a lot on this show. I really enjoyed it. I didn't like waking up. And I was in the hospital for almost a month. And I tried to go back into that zone and never did. I slept a lot. I was on heavy meds, and I was able to go and have these fantastic dreams. Nothing. I have never gone back and visited that place where I was at. I've never been able to go back there. Yeah, and it was a black open room, just black chair, table, light above, sheet music out, a pen, and I walked around the room. Right? I walked around, but I was hearing this music, and then I would go back and I'd write some more, and it would play back, and I would get back and walk around and do this. And it was wonderful. Loved it. All right. Got to take a break right here. It's my AMA. I'm answering all of your questions. You can ask me anything. If I don't finish all of these, we'll go in and do a little overtime. But I'm going to do my best to get through everything before the end of the show. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Ask me anything. I'll be right back. Stay with us.
Listen to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
So you went to dinner last night, you had your favorite pasta. Ugh. Or maybe you had a heavy spicy meal and it left you. Ugh. GetTheT.com. Maybe you mowed down a huge steak and your plumbing is all plugged. Ugh. GetTheT.com. Our super strength tea will take care of your occasional ugh. It's all organic and non-GMO. Get rid of ugh. We have so many great supplements, but our super tea is number one. GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of fade to black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hey, can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. The holidays are coming. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. Tonight's my AMA. Ask me anything. I'm going to answer everything. Okay, so just if we've got to do and go into overtime, I'll do it. And I don't know if the networks are going to continue with that, but nonetheless, we'll see. Okay, I'm just going to stay right back to it. Do you remember the name of the nightclub towards the end of Zuma Beach in the early 80s? No, I don't think I went to Zuma Beach in the early 80s. So I wouldn't know the name of that nightclub. Have you applied the techniques talked about by Eric Rains on your show? Some of them. Eric is very, very bright, very cool guy. Your voice is cool. Do you do anything to preserve it? No, I do not. No, it's just my pipes, man. This is what I've got. You know what's funny? My register is this. This is my normal voice right now, my normal speaking voice. But I can't go higher. I can go lower. If I had to go low, I could go low. My normal voice is this voice that I'm speaking with right now. It's just my voice. And I do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Shalom, Jimmy. When are you going to interview the brother leader, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan? Ah, man, is he still alive? He's got to be ancient now. And what would we talk about? I think he's talked about ETs in the past. I wonder what his attitude is about that. It's weird. Somebody reached out to us from his group a few years ago, but it just kind of went away. What do you think of the ruins on Mars and what happened to all of the beings living there? I answered that earlier in the show. There's something, Mars was alive. There, is something happened. The atmosphere was destroyed and the planet was cooked. But yeah, did they go underground? Did they know? Remember, I was talking about Alpha Centauri B, and Proxima B last night on the show, and what happened last March. March 24, 2017, they got blasted for 10 seconds. And the planet was cooked. If anything was there, it's gone now. The atmosphere has been toasted. There's nothing there. And just imagine if something like that happened here on planet Earth. 10 seconds, gone. Everything. Atmosphere, oceans boiled, the surface cooked, and there would be nothing left on this planet at all. Done. History. Done. Past tense. Yeah, think about that. 10 seconds. Are you as lost without Rita as I am without my wife? Well, I'm bummed if you are. Are you saying that you are now alone, or that if your wife left you, you would be alone? Yeah. Rita knows that if that's the beauty of this existence here. When you have somebody that supports you, holds you upright, and you are able to discuss and talk and the amount of conversation that Rita and I have had over the years, and logged in on every subject, and we still continue to do that, except for now. She used to listen to me. And we would have, and she would listen. But now if I go off and stuff, she stops me now. It's like, stop. I don't want to hear it. It's really, really funny. But yeah, Rita and I will be here forever for all of you. Positive or negative. Have you had any CE4s that made you feel frightened or violated in any way? No. No, in general, no. This polarizing topic of there being no ETs to be threatened by, or needing to arm ourselves to the teeth and shoot them down, where do you lean, Greer or DeLong? I don't side with either of them in this point of view, because I will say this really quickly. It's simple. The technology that they possess, guns and the things that we have on this planet, and you see us fighting off ET with guns, and it just wouldn't happen that way. It just wouldn't, so that's it. So no, I don't side with Greer or DeLong, because what those two or anybody else talks about is just their opinions. Okay? It's just their opinions. We have Dolan, Wilcock, Stanton Friedman, Linda Moulton Howe, all kinds of great researchers that have collected information, and Tsoukalos or whoever. And these are it's a collective that we gather all of this information and try to figure it out. But it's my opinion that if they want to come and take it from us, then they would just come and take it. Now, that doesn't mean that, again, I said this earlier in the show, what is evil to us when it comes to ET is not necessarily evil to ET. Okay, you have to look at it like that. Some crazy advanced intelligence coming here and dealing with us. We may look at it as being bad or evil, but to them, it wouldn't. Are we an experiment? Are we just a test? We don't know. When they get here, we'll find out the truth then. We'll find out what really is going on, and we will find out that everybody out there, DeLong, and he hasn't been around long enough to establish anything, but anybody else that has been out there talking about this, that everybody's going to be wrong. Everybody is going to be wrong. We got it all wrong. So that's my take. What do you think about Zach Bagans' show, Ghost Adventures? I was addicted to that show like nobody. And Rita will tell you, when Ghost Adventures had a marathon on, I would watch it and fall asleep. I would watch it back to back to back to back to back to back to back. So, Zach Bagans, cool guy. The show and his approach to it, like anything else, that's his take on it, and that's what he does. But Ghost Adventures itself, I love that show. Haven't watched it in many, 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 many years, though. Too busy to go back and visit that. Jimmy, what kind of art, not counting music, did you do, and do you still create it? Used to some degree, I still do today. I was a graphic artist. When I worked for Bell Labs, you know what I did? I did keypads, generally speaking. Keypads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, pound sign, right? I did keypads for Bell Laboratories. And, somebody had to design those or put the numbers down and figure that out. The other signage on the phone, I did that kind of stuff. But that's where I cut my teeth. I did other stuff at Bell Labs, too, but by and large, I did graphics for production. So that's what I did there. And as my career advanced, I did posters but I was a graphic artist. I was not a fine artist. I could not paint. I could not sculpt. I didn't dabble in any of that. I had friends that were really good and successful, but I was a graphic artist. Pen and ink, I was really good at that kind of illustration. Really good. I mean, and I enjoyed doing it. So when I let it go, I just moved on into the music side of things, but I was always able to incorporate my graphic arts with, different projects and band logos and things and posters. I was able to do that, and CD covers and things. I was able to continue that part of it. And now today with Fade to Black and creating all of the art here, most of that is handled by Rita. She's the artist that designs everything. Not everything. We have that wouldn't be right. Our T-shirts and things. Other Fadernauts have contributed to that, but then we take that and fine tune it. But my opinion gets interjected, not always listened to, but I'm still able to stay creative. Jimmy, what does your instinct tell you about the real purpose of the Great Pyramid? Again, we don't know. My instinct says, oh man, that we don't know. I don't know. Time travel? Maybe. Something getting us off planet? Possibly. Is it something else that maybe that it was used for the opposite? Maybe to guide people here. That's a possibility too. I'm not so sure. It's a machine. It's obvious. It's not a tomb. It's a device. I wish we had the instruction manual. I really do. Let's see. Looking at the clock, I'm trying to get all of these questions in. How creepy was the broadcast from David Oman's house? David Oman's house is haunted. Okay, that place is haunted. There's no question about it. That place is haunted. Okay, and you just know it. I've seen the videos of some of the statues and things that fall down there, and I went up into the one room where he's got the Beetlejuice statues that I've always seen fall over. So I was alone. I was alone in the house. I was alone in the room, and I looked around and I hit. I think it's an aquarium and I hit that, trying to make these things fall over, and they didn't even shake. It's too big, it's too solid, it's too heavy. It's, I don't know, 1,000 pounds or something crazy, this unit. And nothing. And then, so I went up, and then these little Beetlejuice statues, I went and picked them up, and they weighed, they were, like this tall, but they weighed like 5 pounds. They're like made out of some heavy metal, some alloy, I don't know. But, and so then, I'm moving. There's no way that these things can fall over. I'm trying to make them shake, but I see it in a video of, this kid is standing there, a little kid, and he's looking up, and this thing that just fell over. And so I wanted to go into this particular room and see how this was, being manipulated. And I couldn't make anything move. And that really creeped me out. There's something, that place is haunted. David Oman's house is haunted. I think we're going to go up there with Nick Groff. Man, when is that? That's coming up, from Ghost Adventures. Speaking of that, there you go. Jimmy, where's your favorite taco truck, and what do you order? We have a few favorite taco trucks, and it depends. There are a couple of places in the valley around us where the taco trucks do gather. And when Rita and I go and do these street fair type things, we do a little bit of everything. But my favorite thing to order is I like to experience what they feel is their best taco. In most cases, it's some kind of beef and carne asada. I have no problem with that. I do like al pastor with pineapple. Okay, which is a roasted pork with pineapple, pretty good. There are pork developments in our life. I'll talk about it at another time. But yeah, I do enjoy that. But when you go to these other taco trucks, you can go down and experience everything from lobster to different like Philadelphia cheesesteak things, and then there's a taco truck here in town that does nothing but grilled cheese sandwiches. It's called Grill 'Em All. It's got the Metallica logo on the side, and all they do is grilled cheese, different types of grilled cheese sandwiches. Again, amazing, right? So we like to experience all of them, and all of the dessert trucks too as well. There's that part of it. Here in California, there is no end to taco truck madness. When will John Lear be back on the show? Could you get Bob Lazar via John Lear? Bob Lazar. Okay, first off, John Lear is always welcome on the show, and we should. Thank you for reminding me we can get him back on the show. No problem. That's easy. That's a phone call. Bob Lazar and Fade to Black, possibility. Okay, he's fully aware and knows that we would like him on this show. He's doing so much right now with George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell, and also his autobiography that is being released by Tom DeLonge. I think that's coming out here soon too as well. So he's got a full plate. But Bob Lazar and Fade to Black, it will happen. Not a problem. I just don't know when. Are there giants coming alive in Antarctica? I would like to think so. Antarctica is the big puzzle. Antarctica is melting. I don't know how long it's going to take for it to start to reveal its secrets, but I think that there's a panic. I think there's a panic in not only with different countries around the world and what they have found there and what they have discovered. Certainly we have New Swaziland and what the Nazis and Hitler were doing down there before and during World War II and possibly after. But there's a lot, of course, Admiral Byrd and there's that part. But that you have to take all of that out. That's the obvious stuff. Let's take all of that away. And what was Antarctica before it froze? And who was living on this planet then? And what was walking around Antarctica? Right? Was it us? Was it the Anunnaki? Was Antarctica actually maybe another continent altogether that was in another place? Right? So there's that aspect. But was there something living there completely advanced that is being hidden by the ice? Remember, we're only 2,000 years old here. Us. Okay, we can say 5,000. Göbekli Tepe, so let's say 10,000, 12,000 years old since Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon went away in the last recent modern ice age. Okay? Now, before that, there's supposed to be nothing. And was there something living on Antarctica before it moved? Because I think it was tropical. There's obvious evidence there of grass and trees and leaves and flora and fauna there. So what was there? And what will be revealed when that ice melts? Think about that. Preserved, a city. Did they move underground? Is there somebody living underneath the ice there now? Certainly Corey Good talks about this. David Wilcock talks about this. And others talk about this. But the one thing that they won't be able to prevent is the private eyes, Google Maps, Google Earth, other satellites that will be able to photograph Antarctica as this ice starts to recede. And what will be revealed to us that will not be in their control? That's what I'm most interested in when it comes to Antarctica. Jimmy, if you didn't have music, producing, and podcasting, what would you and Rita be doing? That's a good question, because Rita and I have always been focused on all of that and trying to figure out different ways of doing it. But if we didn't have all of that, I think Rita and I would be exploring the planet and writing books. And yeah, I think that's what we would do. And now, if we had infinite money, right, we didn't have to worry about providing for our family, which, we have our daughters and our dogs and everything else. If we didn't have to worry about all of that, I think Rita and I would be in school. That's what we would be in school. That's what we would do. We'd go back to school for the rest of our lives. That's it. If we didn't have any of this and we didn't know responsibilities, we would be in school or writing. I think that's what we would be doing. Let's see here. Two. Okay, I don't understand that question. That's a weird one. Okay, Jimmy, I don't have Twitter. I don't have Facebook. Sending you an email. Have you had your vitamin B12 tested and vitamin D? If not, please do. Why? That's interesting. No, why would I have it tested? Okay, that comes in from Annie. Back to this over here. Animal. I would want to be a monkey, a chimp. Yeah. That's what I would go there, because you have, you're an animal, first off. You could live in the wild. That's the second. Third, you've got hands, feet, you can climb, but you can think. You're very close to human, so you have that part of it. You have all of those emotions that are there. A dolphin would be really cool, but you're limited to the ocean, right? But yeah, I think a chimpanzee, something like that. Okay, now let's see here. Let's go here. Listen to Coast to Coast with George Knapp and Luis Elizondo. Interesting info regarding the photo. Have you heard it? No, I have not. I have not heard the interview. And that also goes with the UFO Congress. Have not. I will go back and listen to it. I'm probably going to do it tomorrow, because I think it's going to come up on Fader Night tomorrow night with open lines. Jimmy, you have so much knowledge in Egyptian esoterica. Will you ever become a speaker at conferences? Oh, would I become a speaker at conferences about Egypt? Yeah, I would do it. If somebody asked me to do it, I would do it. So, yeah, not a problem there. Who is your best intellectual mentor or guide? Man, the two cats that if anybody fit those shoes, Jim Mars and John Anthony West, and they both left this planet. I looked up to the both of them so much, and I miss them. Yeah, I got to go there, and I miss them both so much. You know who I do look up to though a lot these days, more and more, is Richard Dolan, and we are friends, and I'm trying to keep out of the friend zone with Richard, and try to just respect him for his mind, because I tease him so much. But yeah, so there you go. I think that answers that. What is your favorite cut of meat, and how do you like it to be cooked? I'm still ribeye, yes. Filet mignon, absolutely. It has to be on a grill. And it has to be medium rare. Cooked to temp, has to be hot, but it's got to be medium rare. But ribeye and filet mignon. Yep, grass-fed, grass-finish, prime cut, no exceptions. Jimmy, I really respect what Bob Dean has done for the UFO community. What is your opinion on Bob and his message? I think Bob is amazing, by the way. And why has he never been on Fade to Black? He's never been on Fade to Black because he's been really, really, I think he's semi-retired and hasn't been healthy. He's getting up there in years. If he could come on Fade to Black, I would have him on tomorrow. Okay? All right. Jimmy, are you a Star Trek fan? And if so, do you have a favorite episode? And what is it? Love Star Trek. The original Star Trek. The original. Still the best. One of my favorite scenes is when they were stuck on the planet and they were frozen. And Sulu says, Captain, can you beam us down a warm pot of coffee? Yeah, I still can't change that. If you could go back in history physically, but could never return, what point in time would you go? Roswell crash site, Egypt? That's a tough one to call, because I don't like the sickness and the illness and the inconvenience of anything before like 1950, right? The Roaring 20s, right? Sounds fun. That's a tough life. The Old West in the United States, that's a tough life. It looks all glamorous and romantic, but that's a tough existence. So, and then if you go way back to ancient Egypt, where you lived for 30 years, right? And that's it. I'm not so sure. So if I could go back in time, the 70s or 80s, that's where I would go back. With the knowledge that I have today, I would go back to the 70s or 80s and relive that. If I could live it with my brain that I have today and the knowledge that I have for this world that we have today. And that's it. I'm gonna roll over any questions for tomorrow night on Fader Night. And John Rappaport is going to be here. So I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. It's the end of our AMA. I've got some other questions that are left. I'm losing my voice. My voice is gone. Great stuff tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And like I said, I'll compile some stuff for tomorrow night, and we'll do it here on the show. With that, Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Camarion. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitola, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldridge. Intro, Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. Syndication is KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast owned and copyrighted 2018 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. It was great fun. I don't know if I'd do it again, but this was amazing. Thank you to everybody for your great questions. Until tomorrow night, be safe
Go Beckley Tepe.